Thank you, Deputy Speaker. And the Labor Speaker loved to make the comment that Labor always backs FTAs. And, you know, the only thing Labor has ever had the capacity to do with free trade agreements is back them. And here's why. Not once in our history as a country has the Labor Party ever instigated and then done end-to-end a free trade agreement and closed it. Not once. Not once in their history have they done that. Yet they have the gall to stand in this place and try to lecture the coalition government on FTAs. Of course, today we've heard from the Labor speakers that the great crime, apparently, that they haven't seen the final text of the FTA document. Yet if they'd ever gone through the process, they would know that actually the text is never made fully available until it is translated into its various languages. Again, if they'd ever had the experience, Deputy Speaker, they might know what they're talking about. Now, economic modelling, of course, the three FTAs which they're involved in signing in government, did they ever release any economic modelling? No. Hypocrisy. Reeked with it, Deputy Speaker. I am very proud to be standing here today in support of this motion put by the member for Forward. From the first decades of the New South Wales colony and John MacArthur to the TPP-11, which will be signed in Chile, we're hoping, on the 8th of March this year, Australia's reliance on trade has been unquestionable. We produce amazing goods and services, and that is what this government has been doing, supporting our businesses to ensure we are competitive within the global economy. Now, when it comes to ensuring that we knock off any tariff or non-tariff barriers, the apex of any such achievement, Deputy Speaker, and the best and most sustainable outcome is an international trade agreement, a free trade agreement. Now, Australia, under this agreement, has already, under this government I should say, under the Turnbull government and indeed under the Abbott government, we have already achieved historic FTAs. Japan, Korea, China and Peru, the latter, coincidentally, Deputy Speaker, being signed today to remove 99% of tariffs on Australian imports into that rapidly expanding Peruvian economy. How can that be anything but good for the Australian worker and for Australian businesses? And now, of course, Deputy Speaker, we have the TPP-11, the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, which brings together 11 Pacific Rim nations, all brought together in a network of 18 new FTAs, free trade agreements. Both the size and the promise of this deal are breathtaking. As the member for Forward's motion notes, the TPP-11 is set to eliminate more than 98% of tariffs across a truly immense trading zone with a combined GDP of some 13.7 trillion Australian dollars. The direct benefit to the Australian farmers, producers, manufacturers and service providers, and improved market access and a sustained boost to exports is significant, with Motley finding that the TPP-11 would lift Australia's national income by 0.5%, or more than $15 billion, while boosting exports by 4%, which equates to more than $30 billion in additional exports. The leadership, the determination of this Turnbull government, led by our Trade Minister, who together with the government of Japan in particular, worked so hard to keep negotiations alive following the decision of President Trump to withdraw. And they finally got this deal over the line with all 11 nations still on board. The TPP-11 is clearly an outstanding win for Australian businesses and jobs, Deputy Speaker, and the Turnbull government deserves to be congratulated. But tellingly, this is a win that would have been missed completely if Labor had won the last election, or if the government was so desperate for guidance that we actually took the advice of the Leader of the Opposition, who you'll recall, publicly declared on several occasions that the Trans-Pacific Partnership was dead. Dead. Really, Deputy Speaker? $30 billion in additional exports just tossed away by the Labor Party. That would be an appalling judgment. Thank God for the coalition.